Hello and welcome to another trading video by Black Bear Dog Trading. Today is Monday, December 16th, 2024, and in this video I want to go over the multiple features that came with the bot that you downloaded as part of your gift. But before I do that, I would actually like you to download and install the most recent version that I uploaded just this morning. So first thing you want to do is right click on the actual order chart, or if you're following my setup, the chart with the white background, right click on it, go to Expert Advisor, click on Remove, and the bot you had installed is now deleted from the chart. Now what you want to do is click on the link in the description box below that says upgrade and download the new bot to your computer. After you have downloaded, come back to your MetaTrader platform right here, click on File, click on Open Data Folder, and that what you have here now is the MT4 default directory with all its subfolders. We click on the tab, on the plus at the top to create another tab, to open a new tab. We click on download because more than likely that's where you store your downloads. If you have a different folder you use for that, then please go to that folder. In my case, it is downloads. Click on downloads. In the search box, type in capitals BBDT, and the file you are looking for is BBDT-EA.ex4. Right click on the file and click on copy. Now go back to the MetaTrader directory, which is your first tab that has listed all these numbers. Go to MQL4, click on that, click on experts, and anywhere on the blank portion of the window, right click your mouse again and click on paste. You're being asked if you want to replace the existing files. Simply click on that. It will copy the file over and you're done. You can now close out this window and you should be back at your MetaTrader platform. Now we need to first refresh MetaTrader platform so that we can install the newest version. To do that, press the Control N key and that will open up the navigator box. Go to Expert Advisors, right click and click on Refresh. And now the bot has been updated with the latest version. Now simply left click on the bot name BBDT-EA while holding your mouse button down, drag it over to the order chart, release the mouse button, and it will pop up the window with all the setups that are possible with this bot. To make sure that you have the latest version, click on About, and you should now have version 2.01. If you do, great. We can now continue this video, and I will go over all the different setups here, what they mean, and how you should use them for best trading results. For right now, I'm going to leave it open. Click on the X here to close the navigator. Oh, we need to close this first. Okay, click on OK. Click on the X here to close the navigator window so your layout goes back to where it was. And now let's again click on the smiley face right here. And here is our setup configuration for the BBDT bot. So the enhancement that was made to this bot is that it actually incorporates 4 trading routines, and each trading routine has its own way of operating. It has its own rules. These rules are all incorporated within the bot, and depending on the strategy you choose, the bot will notify you accordingly whether you have a possible sell or buy signal. Word of caution here, just because the bot tells you that you have a possible buy or sell signal doesn't mean that you should just blindly jump on that. You are still required to do your own common sense due diligence, verify. And only after you actually confirm that what the bot had found matches with your findings, then go ahead and open the trade according to the direction that the bot tells you to. So what are the four strategies that you can do with this bot? Well, you can do a strategy that I call MACCI, which is moving average commodity channel index. And we're going to load the commodity channel index on our chart in a second. The second trading method that you have is, let me go down, is right here, trade support and resistance breakout, or trade and support and resistance retracement is the third. And the fourth one is trade M and W patterns, candlestick patterns. So we're going to go through all of this, but before we do, let's install the commodity channel index first. It's the default oscillator that comes with MetaTrader 4 platform. So let's click on OK here to close this window, and you can keep the dollar or the Dixie indicator if you like. Personally, for the time being, I'll get rid of it, only because the Dixie is really nice to use when you have USD based currency pairs, but since I trade other currency pairs as well, there is no need for me to have the Dixie on my chart. So to remove the Dixie, you have two options. You can move your mouse pointer over until you see dollar index, then right click and simply click on delete indicator. Second option you have, anywhere in the chart, right click, click on indicator list, click on the indicator here, and click on delete and close, and it's gone. Now we're going to install the commodity channel indicator. As you did before, click on the plus sign icon and click on oscillators or highlight oscillators. Go to commodity channel index, click on it, and set the period to 13. Use whatever color you want. Set the price to close, and levels. By default, you will have minus and plus 100. We don't want those. Click on delete and delete. Click on OK, and you now have the oscillator commodity channel index oscillator installed on your actual trading chart, and you see right here that it is set to 13. You can make that window a little smaller if you want to. I kind of like it a little smaller. I don't need that much room for it. And bottom line is we're ready to configure our bot. By the way, whatever strategy you're using is being displayed right here on the top of your chart. So MACCI means that I'm using the MACCI strategy, which I'm going to, after I explain the configurations of the bot, I will explain how to use that strategy. Okay, by clicking on the smiley face, you open up the module of the bot. If you're not on it yet, click on inputs to make sure that you have all the different options. And let's start from the top. Starting amount. This is the amount that you actually start your account with. This is not your demo amount. This is a amount that you start with. In the case of a demo, yeah, you take whatever the default was that was given to you in the demo. But in a live account, you enter here the amount you started with. If it's 500, you type 500. If it's 1,000, you type 1,000. If it's 5,000, you type 5,000. You get my drift. Again, I have a completely unique way of trading. My lot size and my losses are based on the money I deposited in my account initially, not on the growth of my account. What I'm trying to say is, let's say that in my case, I started with $10,000 and I've grown it to $25,000 in the meantime. My lot size is not based on $25,000, it is based on $10,000. And if I have losing trades, so that my initial startup amount goes below the initial investment, then my lot size is based on that amount. What I mean is, I have 10,000 I started with. Let's say I had a couple of losing trades and I now have 8,000 left. My risk percentage is now calculated on 8,000 because I subtract the losses from my startup, not from my account balance. It's very, very important you get this. It's actually crucial to the way I trade. That said, next field is risk percentage. You set this to whatever you like. I usually have it at 10%, and that means I take 10% for each trade of my startup balance. That does not mean that I will risk, in this case, $1,000 because the program is configured such that I can set stop losses and get other notifications to get out of a trade long before long before I'm $1,000 in the hole. So this is just a parameter, but that's the parameter that I use. Trading 1%, 2%, even 5% for me, I found out after years of doing this, is an agonizing way of making money trading. And if you play your risk management strategies properly, 10% will never blow up your account. It's when you become careless and you're not really risk adverse that you get into trouble. Okay, third option is default stop loss in pips. Standard is 100. I recommend you leave that, but you can decrease or increase that number based on what you put there. Your stop loss will be greater, will be smaller, but your risk percentage will be greater, will be smaller as well. Because in order to calculate the lot size, you need a default stop loss in pips. That's just how the formula works. Then we have the maximum slippage. I have this set to 3, and I recommend you leave that. You don't change that. Slippage simply means the differential in price that it will take to get your order filled. Since all the trading we do is market orders, meaning exactly where the price is, not limited orders, which means at a future price, you may not, during a market order, you may not get filled exactly at the level where the price is. Slippage will allow for 3 points up or down and give you some leadway to make sure your order gets filled. So, for example, and I'll use a round number, if price is currently at 1.05 thousand, with a slippage of 3, I'm telling the broker I would like to have it filled at 1.05 thousand, but I'm willing to go anywhere in between up to 1.05 thousand and 3. So, and the broker considers that, and more than likely you will get your order filled. Okay, next one is the MA period. This is the line that you see here, the moving average. I've set it to 13. This is based on years of research and trial and error. So you can play with these numbers once you get familiar with the strategy, but I highly recommend you leave it where it is. Shift is 0, method is simple, applied price is closed price. Then we go trade MACCI. If you set this to no, then it means this strategy will not be active on your trading chart, and whatever your parameters you have here below don't matter. In this case, we're going to trade with this strategy to start out for twofold reasons. Number one, it's the easiest of the four strategies, and despite being the easiest, it's also the most profitable one. So by having here yes, you then set the rest of the parameters accordingly, which are, again, you can play with the period per your own liking, but again, based on trial and error, 13 is the best setting. Applied to close price, buy zone in pips and sell zone in pips. These are the actual barriers or zones that price has to cross through in order for an actual sell or buy position to be even considered. So if price hovers anywhere between the minus 40 and the plus 40, the market is considered consolidating, and you will not get any signals as far as whether or not you have a possible trade. As far as colors are concerned, you set those whatever you like. The buy line color is the top line of the buy zone. The buy zone fill color is the gap between the baseline or the zero level and the maximum, the 40 level, and that will get filled with an aqua color in my case. The sell line is the opposite. The sell line color is the top of the sell zone, and the sell zone is the gap between the baseline and the sell line. So then the baseline color I've set to dark slate gray. You can pick whatever style of line you like to have, and you can also pick whatever width you want to have, up to a maximum of 5. I like it the way it is, and that does that. Next we have trade SNR breakout, trade SNR retracement. We have trade with WM pattern, threshold for the pattern. We are not going to discuss this because this will make this video way too long. We are going to do this in another video because I'm going to, as I configure these options, I will also show you how to use the trading method. So we continue to scroll down, and now we have set take profit. By default, this is set to no, which means that the options below are ignored. What is set take profit? In trading, there is this concept of risk to reward or reward to risk ratio. For example, if you enter at a certain level, your risk should be wherever you set it. Your reward should be X times your risk. So let's say if you risk $100, your reward should be then set to $300. If you use a 3-to-1 ratio, if you use a 2-to-1 ratio, it should be set to $200. If you use a 5-to-1 ratio, it should be set to $500. And that is a common topic that you hear traders talk about a lot. I have set this to no for the simple reason that ratios are not exactly a winning proposition. If anything, they're actually more of a losing proposition. And I've posted a link in the description box below that I highly recommend you read. It's a short article by Investopedia, which is a well-respected financial website that deals with trading and money and forex and stocks. And they actually confirm my thought process that relying on reward to risk ratio, you will actually end up having more losing trades than winning trades. But the option is there if you want to splurge with it. Do so at your own risk. I don't use it. However, I do use the next option, set a trailing stop. And the trailing stop, I set the start level, and I set at how many pips it will increment. What this does is the moment I enter a trade, the bot will automatically set a trailing stop 300 pips either below for a buy order or 300 pips above for a sell order at the entry where I entered the order. Then, as price continues to go in my direction, every 50 pips, the stop will automatically adjust closer and closer to my break-even level and further on. So it prevents from suffering major losses. As I told you earlier, just because I risk 10% or $1,000 per trade doesn't mean I actually lose $1,000. This is the reason why. I also have set partial profit, and this feature is set to yes, and I use this with every trade I take. The partial profit simply means, and again, you can set the level of your partial profit in dollar amount to whatever amount you like. I found out for myself that $50 is a nice round figure that gets triggered quite often. As the amount gets bigger, it may not always get triggered. So what does this do? The moment I have a trade that reaches $50 in profit, the bot will take the $50. It will notify me that I have $50 in profit. It will then allow me to take the $50 in profit, and it will then automatically move the stop loss to just below break even. So from that point on, I will no longer have a losing trade no matter what happens. I may make another $2 if the market retraces, for example, but it doesn't matter. No matter what happens, once I reach this, based on the way the trailing stop loss then gets triggered to go just below the entry point in a sell position, just above in a buy position, the entry point in a buy position, I will never again have a losing trade no matter what. Draw trend line is an option that I put in there that is just for visual, nothing else. It shows you whether or not you have an actual where the trend is heading, whether it's up, down. This kind of works in conjunction with the trend line indicator that I have here. So it's like a double confirmation if you want to use that. I personally don't use it. As you see, I don't have a trend line. So last but not least, then I get to the default configurations. While I do have font size, you cannot change it. 7 is the locked in number. If you type in anything else, it will actually give you an error. You can change the type of border you want. You can change the color of the information panel, front, background, as well as border color. And this is the information panel right here. Last but not least, display alerts. If you set this option to yes, it will, whenever the bot has a notification for you, you will actually see the notification displayed on your chart. If you set this to no, you will not see the notification on your chart, but you will get a sound alert. And if you have MetaTrader installed on your phone and configured it to work with the MetaTrader Windows version on your desktop, then you will also get an alert on the phone. I will make a video how to set that up in the future. For now, that is for future. So at this point in time, these are the configurations for now. To make sure that we don't lose this, I always am in the habit, after I make changes to my setup, click on save, and I save it as the BBDT set. It already exists. Say yes. Now click on OK, and we are done. Now there you see, with the next tick, the actual information panel was updated, as was the CCI. It automatically drew in the positive buy, which is the buy zone with its highlighted color, the negative, which is the sell zone with its highlighted color. And this is based on the information that was set in the setup of the bot. Right here, if I go back, and right here, 40 and 40. If I change this, you can make this larger or smaller. Let me give you an example. I set this to 70. I can leave the bottom as is. I click on OK. It will update, and see now this changed to 70, and it made my buy sell zoner, my buy zone bigger. My goodness, learn to speak English, Load. And you can play with this. Again, the larger the zone, the longer it will take to have a buy signal. The smaller the zone, the faster you have a buy signal. I found from years of using this that a plus 40 for the buy zone and a plus and a negative 40 for the sell zone seem to be the golden middle way that have the best, pardon me, the best results with the least amount of fake signals. So since we had the MACCI strategy activated in our setup, now it shows right here that this is actually what we are trading with. I think this video has been more than long enough for now. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how to trade this. It's actually quite simple, and it doesn't take a lot of knowledge or experience, but it's actually quite profitable as well. So that's it. This is it for now. I will see you tomorrow in a new video where we're actually now seriously start going into trading and hopefully make some money. This is it. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.